Hey, how we doing, guys?
Morning, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin.
We're back, guys. Another episode of the best show of all time. Mad Men has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, in terms of writing and execution, there's not been a better precision show I've ever seen. And I used to say that about Breaking Bad,
Yes,
but I feel like this is a more quality show than Breaking Bad.
I agree.
And
with
I
you.
love Breaking Bad. I mean, I'm not knocking
agree.
Breaking Bad. It's one of the all-time great shows, but I feel like this is executed even better than that.
Yeah, we're
And
about halfway through this show. We haven't even finished it yet, but I
Right.
am completely with you. I do think it's a better show than Breaking Bad is.
Yeah.
And on Breaking Bad, we're not saying it's a bad show at all.
No, it's a great show. Breaking Bad is an all-time great show.
Yeah.
It's just that this is done just a little bit better. I think The West Wing is an all-time great show
Me
that
too.
we're watching right now,
Uh-huh.
but I think this is executed just a little bit better.
And I can't even put my finger on what it is. West Wing is more of an
Right.
expositionary show. This is all show no tell.
There's no exposition almost with it. Very little exposition.
Yeah,
It's like here's what's happening with these people.
and
You know.
that and the set design is incredible. It's nostalgic, but not necessarily always in a good way.
The period is hit well, and like I
The
said,
nuance,
more than anything else I've ever watched, this is the story of America.
Yeah.
Encapsulated in this goofy office of these very very rich and privileged ad executives.
Yeah.
This is the story of America,
and how miserable they are.
They're
How
completely
miserable we
miserable,
are,
right? The idea that the American dream is an unhittable target.
Yeah, it's the Great Gatsby. That's
Yeah.
but also I want to point out that this season, a lot of you on Patreon have pointed this out as well. There's a lot of change happening, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I can't remember who said this on Patreon, but you know who you are. They pointed out that Don's apartment mirrors his inner self, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's he's isolated.
Right.
It's kind of a rundown apartment almost. He might be a darker guy, so this might be a darker season because
We only saw one episode, but he was a lot darker, right? He was kind of dragged out into the light,
Yeah.
for that interview, and obviously blew it until he decided to go back and do it again and kind of rewrite his own story. Which what's more American than that? But you're right. Having the completely detached from anything. His cleaning lady, I guess,
Yep.
prepare his meals and clean his house and take his phone messages, and there's like no relationship there, even warmly, between the two of them.
Also, he's a little. So we never see the sex scenes in the show, right?
Right.
This last episode we did, and we don't know what Don's into, but this last episode he might be into some.
Well,
what would you call that? Like masochistic kind of.
it was definitely masochistic. Yeah. A little dominatrix stuff, I guess. I don't know what
Now-
the terms are. I'm sure some of you can tell me a lot better what was going on there, but
Somebody said it was implied in earlier seasons when Bobby Bartlett was talking to him, saying the ladies say you like it rough or whatever.
Oh,
Then-
okay,
then
right,
he
right,
left her tied up on the bed. So this season we might really get an even bigger window into
Right.
Don's life, right? Because he could be a really weird guy.
yeah. I just think he hates himself. I
think so too.
I don't think there was anything to be like
We're not saying he's a
intimately
pervert.
weird, right?
Yeah,
Right.
but I'm just
No,
saying,
but I feel like that was there to let us know that Don's not okay.
we're peeling back
He's-
more layers.
Right.
Yeah.
This is about self punishment.
Yes.
This is the closest thing to a catharsis this guy can get.
And it's
Hit me harder.
It's disturbing.
Yeah.
it's
He's
very disturbing.
he's emotionally not healthy. He puts on a good front when he's at work, or when he's around other people outside of work, but when he's kind of stripped down a little bit,
Yeah.
he is not emotionally healthy at all.
Also, I'm a little bummed out that Ken's not there.
Yeah,
You get it. Pete. There's no way Pete's going to bring Ken. You know what I mean?
No.
Because he kind of hated him. But I thought Ken did a great job, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't bring him.
I am too.
Paul, I get.
Right, Paul. I think we were kind of like counting down the days all last season. Like Paul kind of sucks at his job. Like Peggy was running laps around him as far as their creative.
Right, and also like I love Salvatore. I thought Salvatore was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed out he left the show, so I'm like, great. If Sal's leaving, then we got to get rid of Paul. But Ken too. Come on, man.
Yeah, losing Ken kind of surprised me because he did stuff, and they explained it well that Pete didn't do. As far as an account man, there were large successes with Ken that I'm frankly shocked we didn't get again.
He's a published author. Who knows? Maybe he'll come back.
Yeah.
I do know that around this time in real life, he was in a video game called L.A. Noire. You know what this is?
I've heard of L.A. Noire. I have not seen it.
It was a big deal, and I remember seeing a lot of ads for it. But the actor who played Ken was the star of that game, and it was like completely motion capture. It's like
so he might have been just left the show to go do something,
that.
do other stuff.
It was a big project. So
Okay, that
maybe.
might be why.
Let us know, guys. A lot of you guys are very you're well informed on the behind the scenes of the show. We love reading about that. We love learning more and more about this amazing show. So
yeah, we've had commenters who were like, "I've had friends who've worked on the show, and here's the skinny on some of the cast members," which I love that. Yeah. Love that so much.
I wonder if there's any books written about the show because I would love. Once we finish it, I want to read everything about it.
Right? Yeah, we don't do anything that'll spoil anything, but this has been fantastic.
It has been. Wow, I can't talk today. For those of you who watch us on YouTube, welcome to our channel.
Hi.
If you don't mind hitting the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've come your way.
Yeah, absolutely. If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or are watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. Yeah. You will need to sync and watch along with us on whatever home device you have. We're using AMC Plus.
VHS.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Glenn.
It's Glenn.
Yeah, oh, that's Glenn.
Y'all just walked right by me when you came in.
Sorry.
I saw your new dad. My mom said that would happen. After they're married a while, they'll have a baby. She'd probably ask for something big now.
Bye, Glenn.
Maybe I'll call you.
Glenn's like, how's your mom, by the way?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Look, there's no way he's going to hit on Sally.
Yeah.
And I would like the gold necklace that you can put your initials on that we saw at Macy's. And most of all, I'd like you to be here on Christmas morning to give it to me. But I know you can't be.
So, drum set, fire truck. The necklace is $30. It's SBD, Sally Beth Draper. Get her some Beatles 45s and him transistor radio, too.
I love how he's like, drum set.
Right.
I'll grab a crate.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yeah, let's put a drum set in her house. I love how completely different this office looks from their last one.
Been too long. Just long enough. I walked out of JWT with a present under my arm. Pond's cold cream. It's $2 million, but they'll never even notice it's gone. Yeah. Look, if it doesn't work out, you can keep the account. What am I gonna say? Yes.
Yeah, that's a...
There is one little caveat.
I'm so glad he's back.
Yeah.
Name it. I don't want Pete Campbell near this. I was surprised you took him along.
Yeah, Pete did burn him, yeah.
Can Sally come to the phone?
Who may I say is calling?
Stanley. I have a question about homework. How come you didn't move?
I don't know. I hate
That's
it
the
here.
question that we kind of all want to know.
Really
Yeah,
do.
it's time to go.
Right.
Why? They're not going to get back together, you know.
Glenn.
Especially now that she's doing it with somebody else.
Doing what?
Stanley.
A boy.
Faye helped develop the indelible image that has become the standard of feminine hygiene advertising. The carefree gal in white pants.
Girls seem way less amused by that.
Yeah.
Take a minute, fill it out, and please, take a cookie.
What's it mean if we don't?
That you're a psychopath. These questions have been designed to get at what subjects really want instead of what they say they do. What are the real feelings that exist below the surface?
Don's gonna struggle with this one.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to do it. Those are the kind of questions he doesn't answer. Yeah.
I apologize. I have an appointment. What are you doing?
Oh, St. Vincent's Junior Staff Christmas Party.
At 8 in the morning?
Phoebe. And you're Don. I know.
I hope we haven't met.
Well, I'm right across the hall.
That's pretty funny,
We
actually.
wave to each. Don't pretend that you've never noticed me.
Oh, boy.
You just grunt when you put your keys in the door. It's not good.
Boy, oh boy, well, you missed at lunch. Cal Rutledge from Ponds. What a cut-up. What do you mean? I mean, I gotta go lay down.
He's not supposed to be drinking. They're AA friends.
Oh.
And he got drunk.
Did you just have lunch with Roger Sterling?
Yeah, he's not supposed to be. He's in AA.
Don't do that. It's okay. Wrap your head around finding the right famous face. Or my other thing about the T-zone. I want 10 tags apiece. Then I narrow it down, then we go to Don.
How about dinner tomorrow?
Christmas party.
How about lunch? We're having a Christmas party.
Why am I getting my invitation so late?
Because I thought you were out of town.
Seeing the movies. You find me.
Okay. 3 o'clock? 5 o'clock? Shit. Go get Lane.
This might be
I'm looking forward to it.
a hot mess.
You won't. We're gonna have to have a Christmas party. A real one.
How did that happen?
It happened. In
He
fact, he was
invited himself,
offended
man.
that we hadn't invited him already.
Uninvite him. What about our other clients?
We have no other clients. If Lee Garner Jr. wants 3 wise men flown in from Jerusalem, he gets it.
Sheila at the station baked them.
Sheila? Who's Sheila?
She's 60 years old. You see how shaky the icing is?
Good for her.
Yeah.
She moved on from Duck.
That's true. At least she's not still dating Duck
I
Phillips.
hate Duck so much.
Yeah.
In fact, I want you so much, I want to wait.
And I told you there's nothing to be afraid of. I want to be your first.
Got bad news for you, buddy. She's had a kid.
All you have to do is take a couple steps that way. I brought you cookies.
He's one short step away from begging.
He's begging at this point. Approach you cookies.
Yeah.
Is he wasted?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Where the hell are you coming from?
Work. Yeah.
Come on. You're going to bed.
Look where we are.
I love working at the hospital. People coming into the world, people leaving it. Everything happens there.
That's an interesting way of looking at it,
really
actually.
is.
Good night, Dawn.
I'm honestly surprised that's all she did.
Don't even understand your list. What's wrong with Elizabeth Taylor?
Yeah.
Isn't it about making old ladies look good?
Nothing makes old ladies look good.
If we were to go another way, that's not a bad idea.
Indulging yourself, right?
No. If you use ponds, you'll get married.
That's not what I was saying.
I think she has a real problem with how out of date he is.
Yeah.
Freddie, I have brought your name up 100 times in the last year to come in and freelance. For me. But everybody is right about you. You're old-fashioned, you know that?
Yeah, he's very old-fashioned.
He is.
I hate this guy so much.
So do I.
We have gifts, girls, and games, but first I'm gonna get you some food.
Well, that's a good idea, Red. I've been drinking all day.
Can you imagine walking around being so aloof like him that you don't even know that people hate you?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Sally wants to move. So he's making it look like they have a criminal in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where's Santa? He didn't show, but he did leave some presents.
Freddie was
I
Santa.
could have sworn I conquered by a suit. How about you, Roger?
I would, but I'm allergic to velvet.
Come on, you'll do great.
Are you serious?
I'll do it. I'd love to be Santa.
Yes.
Oh, come on, it'd take 3 of you to fill that suit. Besides, everybody knows Santa's got white hair.
Are you gonna like humiliate Roger and make Roger do this?
I think so.
Merry Christmas!
It's drunk Santa.
It's hard to tell if he's Father Christmas or Father Time.
I'm guessing it's kids.
Yep. He's right.
You look around
Henry.
the house.
My room's
I bet-
fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I bet her room wasn't messed with.
Just a note. You're welcome.
Oh, he made one of those twine things.
Just want to make sure there were no problems.
No.
You really
Maybe
are a
she's
full-service company.
mad at him
Just
for
you didn't
walking out
take
on
the
the
test.
test. Yeah.
And I know you're the
Yeah.
creative shaman around here, but you walked out of my presentation.
This is not personal. I just don't think you can learn much about people that way.
I learned a lot about you. You're the kind of man who doesn't want to take the test. We're both in the same business. And I'm not embarrassed to say it's about helping people somehow to sort out their deepest conflict. In a nutshell, it all comes down to what I want versus what's expected of me.
That's actually really deep.
Yeah.
You want to get some dinner or something?
No, thank you. But apology accepted.
I was wrong. I was totally sure that she was into him.
I know the holidays are hard in your situation, but don't worry. You'll be married again in a year.
What? Sorry.
We forget how funny the show really is.
Oh, yeah. Did you forget your key and now you have to go visit your neighbor?
Got his keys.
I'll give you half an hour and then we'll meet you at Chumley's.
Better make it an hour. Might have to get some food in him.
He's
Yeah,
pathetic.
Doc. Oh.
I'm really sorry.
It's Okay.
She deserves a big Christmas bonus for this.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
No, come on, man. It's your secretary. What do you think the odds are that this becomes awkward at the office?
Yeah.
100% or 99%?
I should really go.
You should really invite her to stay.
Yes.
Okay, maybe she is cool about it then. Maybe I was
See you
wrong.
tomorrow, I guess.
Oh wait, no. I can't tell. She's in a good place, but I don't know if what she's expecting now.
She's leaving. Maybe it was just a.
Maybe she's like, that was fun. Yeah, hopefully.
Freddie.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm at your desk. It was the cleanest spot in the office.
Surprised he wasn't at the party. They asked him to be Santa
okay?
Claus.
He doesn't want to drink.
Didn't come to the party. I am sorry. I said you were old-fashioned.
And I'm sorry I said you wanted to get married.
I haven't done much work on this, I have to be honest. And I need to get some coffee.
You'll be fine.
Say something nice to the man.
Yeah.
You owe it to him.
I don't want to be alone on New Year's Eve.
Well,
if you're gonna marry him, you can't do anything, or he won't respect you.
Old-fashioned.
What if I don't know?
Good morning.
Awkward.
Inside.
The talk of, so listen, I'm not
So
really placed right now.
For your children?
I've probably taken advantage of your kindness on too many occasions.
Excuse me?
No. Oh, no.
I just wanted to say thank you for bringing my keys.
She got the message. Ah, this sucks. He sucks at this.
Well, here's the bonus we talked about.
Oh, that feels gross. Better be a good bonus. It better be the best bonus. $100. She might be quitting.
Or switching desks. Nope, that's quitting. That's resignation letter right there.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel different?
This stupid guy.
This naive fool, yeah. I just think he should have addressed it. He should be like, look, I had a great time. I really appreciate you, but...
No, he handled that as badly as you could have handled it. Shut the door and be like, look.
He handled that professionally? You know what I mean? Like, it was professional, but at the same time, it's not.
There's no way to professionally handle what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don, you kind of suck again.
Which is awesome. Because, like, look, the first episode of the season, we knew there was something off, right? We knew, we addressed it with, like, his weird sex scene and, like, just how his behavior. And then at the end of the episode, he had that really confident moment where he's like, I'm done, Draper. You know, and, like, gave the interview.
Now, that's all. We see that's a fraud, though.
Yeah, sure, but he's a fraud. He's fraudulent. His whole life he's been fraudulent, you know? And it's kind of sad to see Don like this. Literally, they said he was pathetic. He is pathetic.
Yeah.
He's in the hallway drunk. He's gone on to all these girls left and right.
Right. Like I said, I think he's gone from high-functioning alcoholic to lower-functioning alcoholic to almost non-functioning alcoholic.
Yeah. To where his neighbor had to take him inside. My father was a drunk.
I guess the big is he going to have to that face yourself moment where people in the office, where Roger and the partners say, "Look, man, your drinking has become a problem for us."
And it's interesting.
Is he going to blow a pitch because he's wasted or something?
I think so. I think that having Freddie there kind of signifies that as well, because
that's true.
He was the one that left the show because he couldn't handle his liquor, you know?
Right?
And I mean, even who was the lady at the Christmas party? She was her company, the floor wax cleaner.
Yeah, wasn't she? Yeah, wasn't she basically the? I took it as she was like doing psychological market research person.
Okay, but does she work there, or is she just like a?
I feel like it's he was with the other guy.
Yeah.
Who's like, hey, Roger and I finally get to work together. I don't know that they're.
So she's working with them.
Right.
Gotcha.
So yeah, she doesn't work for Sterling Cooper. She works for that guy.
She's adjacent.
Right.
Okay.
But I think it's a market research thing.
Okay.
That they were pitching.
Which is okay. So that makes more sense then.
Right.
I was kind of wondering about that myself. Like, why do they need to tell you about your childhood? But if they're trying something new, like it's unorthodox, but give it a shot.
Yeah, she seems like more the psychological end of customer purchasing.
That's kind of where ads headed. If you watch any commercial on TV now, it's all nostalgia. You know?
Yeah, we really get into consumer psychology.
Yeah,
I mean it is down to a science,
especially around the holidays.
Right.
But no. So the point I was going to make with her is that he kind of blew it with her too. She's calling him out at the Christmas party.
She did, right?
And then he's hitting on her.
Yeah.
Dude. And then he goes. He sleeps with the secretary. Like,
yeah.
Dawn.
Get it under control, man.
And it's a mess. It's kind of hard to watch.
Well, and he tried to hook up with, which surprised me. I didn't see coming. His neighbor, when she tried to put him in bed, she's like, "No, stop."
Yeah. For all you guys to say we don't give Betty a fair shake, or we don't give Dawn a fair shake. This is it. This is probably the lowest we've seen Dawn, and we're not on his side right now at all.
Dawn came on to 3 women and got shot down by 2 of them.
And then he crushed.
And then he destroyed the one who said yes. And keep in mind, he's her boss. He has he's such a position of power over her anyway. There's such a power imbalance.
If this was today, he'd be.
That's a canceling move today, you know. Yeah.
I mean, regardless of how pushy he was, but still, I mean, that's just horrible. Well, another interesting thing about the show, this episode, I mean, is Glenn.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I knew we were going to see Glenn again.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it because I like that he just keeps showing up. What an interesting young man he's turning out to be.
I agree with you though. I think his connection is through Sally, but I think his connection's through Sal, and maybe he's changed. He's gotten older, but I agree with you. I think it's a connection through Sally to get to Betty.
He always had this thing for
Betty. I think
always.
I think that is like implanted on him now.
Yes,
you know what I mean. I think Betty
kind of messed him up a little bit.
Yeah, I think Betty's always going to be like the woman for him, like the Mount Everest. Robinson. Yeah, for sure. And I don't think him calling Sally. I don't think he's romantically interested in Sally. I think he's got something unhealthy for Betty.
I agree. It's unhealthy for Betty, but maybe it's one of those situations where he's like, "Well, I can't have her, so I'll have Sally." You know,
maybe.
So Glenn, I'm reading it. Glenn kind of reminds me of Dawn, just the stoic nature.
Sure.
So Glenn's either going to be super successful one day or super creepy. you know what I mean?
Right.
He's going to be a murderer or he's going to be like an admin.
Right. Too bad the show doesn't run that long. I doubt we get to the point where in the I don't know what year the last season of the show is set, but I doubt we get to the point where like Sally and Glenn are adults. I'm sure they're still teenagers or whatever.
Teenagers, I'm sure. I think somebody said it goes for 7 seasons. I'm assuming it ends in 69.
Right. Yeah. Right. You know, around there.
I don't know. The Glenn thing is so interesting though, and also the fact that they're still in that house, like
that is weird.
Time to go.
I and we were saying that before Sally articulated it. It's weird that they're still in that house,
and even Henry.
It's weird that Henry's there,
and it brings an extra meaning to the last episode when Henry's mother was like, "You're living in that man's dirt."
Yeah.
What at first I thought that was an offhanded remark about Betty, but really it's not.
I think it's about
it's about the house.
He kind of just stepped into Don's life.
He did.
You know.
He did.
And you know, I feel like, you know, to not to beat her too much, but I do feel like Betty just kind of swapped out husbands and didn't want to change anything else.
I think she's.
You know what I mean?
Emotionally, she's kind of disturbed right now. I think she's going through it. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what she wants. She did. She hopped from one guy to the next.
And didn't change anything.
Because she doesn't want to. I don't think she knows how.
Right.
You know, and I don't think she knows what the next step is. The healthy thing would have been to, like, obviously take some time. But in 60s, as a housewife, you can't. You know, she's not going to go to work.
Yeah, but I also feel like, I mean, Dawn's let her stay in the house longer after basically got left for another man.
Yep.
I think Dawn would have said, keep the house.
He said, buy it. You said you can buy it from me if you want.
Right.
Or pay me rent. Which they should be paying him rent.
No, I just mean like if she didn't jump right in with Henry, Dawn would have been like, just stay in the house and I'll move out and he'll still pay the bills and, you know.
Oh, yeah,
if there wasn't another man in the picture.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
But there is another man in the picture. It's like, well, I guess he's stepping in to be the man of the house now. So it's
why am I still paying for this house?
Yeah. Why isn't he bearing some of the responsibility?
And I think that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
You know? It is completely,
regardless of how awful he's been.
Yeah, Don's awful, but it is fair that, like, okay, so my wife left me for another man. Why am I paying bills for the 4 of them now? Yeah, for the 5 of them now.
And somebody else pointed out on Patreon. The scene they had in the garage,
right?
Henry was like that. Then he wanted the jumper in the car,
right.
They were saying, somebody pointed out that it's almost like that's why he did it in the car. It was because that's the one thing.
Oh, right. It's not Don's house otherwise.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about that.
So
Yeah.
Henry's really not that bad of a guy. I mean, like, look, it's a little.
It's scummy what he did.
Scummy.
Their relationship, like, let's say they stay married to the end of the show, right?
Yeah.
Say that this is the permanent thing.
Yeah.
It's still there's no way around the fact that their relationship started off really scummy. It did.
It did.
Just like every woman Dawn was scummy, you know.
Yeah.
Including in this episode. It's got a tint to it, right? It's tainted.
It is,
and it always will be.
And at least Henry is mature enough and good enough to realize that he needs to get out of this house.
Yeah, we need to get out of the house. Because he didn't say it to Dawn or in front of Dawn, but after Dawn was gone, like, I hate that guy, but he's right. we are living in his house that he is paying for now.
We gotta go.
We need to go. But the kids' upheaval. See, that's why I don't
Even
buy.
The kids want to go.
Right, like I don't buy anything that comes out of Betty's mouth. You know what I mean? I don't hate Betty, but I feel like she's full of crap. I feel like so much of what she says, she's full of crap, and I think that whole thing. Did we see her at all this episode? Not much.
The one
just
time,
with the house getting broken into.
Yeah.
But as far as that whole conversation of why she won't move, like, I haven't been able to find anything. There's nothing out there. You haven't looked. But the kids, she's making excuses that are crap. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That has been her thing throughout the whole show. Is she cannot let go of the past, even with her father,
right?
Immediately naming baby Jean.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like she's not thinking things through. Like, I don't like Dawn, but I like Henry. So I'll just swap Dawn out with Henry, and I'll have the same house and the same life, and nothing will change, and no one else will feel anything, and everything will be fine, and we'll ignore everything else.
Yeah.
It's like, well, your kids aren't happy, and your ex-husband is still an issue, and we're living in his house. No, none of that's real. What's real is you're here, and I've replaced bad Dawn with good Henry, and why should I have to think about anything else? I get that she's been infantilized, right, by society, by Dawn, by her dad. She's largely a victim. But you're old enough now where you're starting to be recognizing some of the fact that it's like, I need to take some agency.
You got 3 kids.
And consider things beyond my conveniences and myself.
You got 3 kids and a new husband.
Right, yeah.
And we're all telling you to go.
Right.
And I think we need an episode this season that's focused on Betty and Henry.
I agree.
And the psychology behind that.
For sure.
We need to address it, because as long as it's in the background, it's just going to drive us crazy.
And before anyone responds yet again with how sexist we are by attacking Betty, Dawn, I think one of the things we've learned on the show is that Dawn and Betty are both horrible for each other, and they're horrible parents, and that's how it is.
Yeah, like the cycle continues.
Right.
What they got from their parents, they're passing on to Bobby.
Exactly.
And Jean.
The society that we built post-war in America for the people, the baby boomers. I guess they're old. They're not baby boomers. They're ish. Maybe.
Well, okay.
It's the 60s.
I think Don said he was born in the 20s, right?
Right.
Okay, so they're not boomers.
They're not boomers. They're a little bit older than boomers.
Well, he's not 20s. No, he'd been 30s.
30s, right?
He's not old enough for World War II.
Yeah, and I think both of them were. I think they're a little bit
early 30s. Dust Bowl. I think
right. They're both, even though Betty's younger, I think they're both a little bit young to be boomers.
Yeah,
but
Don's like 35.
But this era that they're living in and the way they came up, they're both victims of crappy upbringing, and it was stuff that just wasn't addressed. You know,
like Roger's daughter's a boomer,
right? Exactly. Yeah. Children being raised, girls being raised to be nothing but perfect husbands and mothers, with nothing beyond that or consideration of what they think or feel or need beyond that, and men who are taught to be men and buck up and deal with whatever crap gets thrown their way, and they both are broken people who are not working.
That is the interesting part of the show, because that was the time,
right?
But the show is set when that starts to change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So right. We are in.
It's the transfer. It really is the changing of the guard.
Yeah. When you go from the end of the 50s as we roll into the 70s, it's like this is where a counterculture becomes a real thing.
And they're caught in the middle of that.
Yeah, they are.
And that kind of that plays into the opening of the show, him falling through the counterculture.
Yeah, the world is changing very rapidly during this time period. Like I said, this show is the story of America, and the simple fact that Dawn and Betty are both miserable people and can't figure out why is a huge part of that.
Also, we're gonna see if Lee Garner Jr. is a real guy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Mad Men Wiki. Okay, I don't want to see a spoiler here.
Right.
I don't think he's a real guy.
Just for the show.
I don't see it. Yeah.
Okay. So whoever was running Lucky Strike at the time was not the Garner family. Fair enough. We were just kind of curious. This wouldn't be the first time they've taken a real person and made
I don't want to deep dive into it because I don't want to have it any spoilers.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
One of the thumbnails there might have been a little spoilery. I didn't see anything, but I'm not going to get into it. So
right, yeah, you don't want to go to the point where it's like, okay, now I'm ruining
the show is ruined.
Yeah, great. We have less than 3 seasons left here, and let's go ahead and destroy them.
However, I do think the fact that we saw Lee Garner Jr. here, I feel like he might be recurring, and I think he might.
We see, yeah. I mean, we saw him in the pilot. You know, we saw him in the pilot. We saw him when he ruined Sal's life.
I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, he's not. He's going to be a recurring thing.
Here's the thing: I think he knows that he is their lifeline, and I think he's going to take advantage of that.
Do you think? Okay, that's fair. Do you think at some point he actually pulls Lucky Strike from Sterling Cooper, and they have to Sterling Cooper, Draper, Price, and they have to like boot and rally and try to find a way to move forward without that huge chunk of their income?
I think it's going to be an issue. I think that definitely he's going to raise that.
Right.
I think he's going to try to. I think he's going to you do this for me, pull.
Right.
And I think
that's fair.
I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions yet because I don't see how they go forward without.
Well, he really made Roger less of a man in this episode for sure by making him do the Santa thing and calling him out for being old and calling him out for being out of shape. And, yeah, exactly. And just humiliating him, like intentionally humiliating Roger. That I would be surprised at some point Roger doesn't sabotage it.
He could.
You know what I mean? It's like, can we afford to survive without this SOB? Let's do it.
We're setting up a lot. Lane even said, you've lived your life with a bottomless pocket. You've never had to worry about expenses. And I like that we actually have to deal with that this season.
Yeah. Like Lane's the voice of reason right now when it comes to the money.
He is.
All right. We will catch you on the next one, guys. This is a great show.